Leading the Whitewater Valley into the future of how you get news. The best coverage in the Whitewater Valley from the best news source. Kicks 96 and WHON Video News with Jeff Lane.
How many lives are saved thanks to our digital mammography, detecting breast cancer in its earliest and most treatable stages?
More than you know.
More than you know is closer than you think. Reed Hospital and Healthcare Services.
Welcome to Kicks 96 and WHON Video News. It's Monday, July the 7th. I'm Jeff Lane. Here's more on Richmond's proposed 1% food and beverage tax that we first told you about last Thursday. The tax would convert the old Reed Hospital facility into a conference center. While many controversial or high-profile ordinances may endure several months of presentations and discussions before they actually reach a vote, this one won't. Council will have to decide on the ordinance one way or the other before the end of the month. That's because, according to the ordinance, it must be passed by August the 1st to take effect at the beginning of the next year. Council will get the ordinance on first reading this evening. If you'd like to voice your opinion to Council, tonight is not the night. A first reading is basically an introduction. No public comment is taken. What will likely happen is that the issue will be taken up by a committee of the whole before Council meets again 2 weeks from tonight. Public input would be taken then and when the ordinance is on second reading. The 1% tax would generate roughly $750,000 annually. Police say it's very likely that a man who robbed a Richmond bank at gunpoint earlier this year has struck again, this time in Greenville. It happened on Saturday morning at the Greenville National Bank. The details are nearly identical to what occurred at First Merchants Bank on Chester Boulevard in Richmond in early April. This time, just like in April, the man stole a car from a Muncie used car dealership and used it to commit the crime. The man entered the store wearing a mask and pointed a handgun at the teller. He's described as a white male about 30 years old and weighing between 150 and 180 pounds. Police recovered the stolen car in Greenville, a few blocks away from the bank. The suspect got away with an undisclosed amount of cash. The same Greenville bank was robbed by what police say is the same suspect back on March the 7th. Police believe this is the 11th robbery committed by the same suspect in Indiana and Ohio. Grant money has been released to study a proposed intermodal transportation hub in Fayette County. About $315,000 in federal money has been released to study the feasibility of a hub that would combine air, rail, and over-the-road freight centers near the Connersville Airport. Now a contract will have to be awarded to a company to conduct the study. The idea for the hub began shortly after the announcement of Vistion's closure. And Winchester City Council will consider a different approach to fighting high gas prices when it meets tonight. Winchester is considering allowing golf carts on city streets. Some other towns across the state have recently allowed golf carts, and it's an idea that's supported by Police Chief Michael Burke. There would be exceptions. For example, golf carts would not be allowed in a 9-square block section of downtown Winchester. Also, they would not be allowed on streets where the speed limit is over 20 miles an hour or on highways like 27 and 32. The Indiana Bureau of Motor Vehicles does not license or register golf carts. This has been Kicks 96 and WHON Video News. I'm Jeff Lane. Have a great day.
Leading the Whitewater Valley into the future of how you get news. The best coverage in the Whitewater Valley from the best news source. Kicks 96 and WHON Video News with Jeff Lane.